Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to RigER webinar. By the way, this is myself. My name is Nikolai, and I'm going to do a quick check of the video and sound. Before we launch into the main content of the presentation, I just wanted to give a quick, really a few seconds overview of how you can follow us on social media. We are on Instagram and Twitter, where we post all the events and happenings in our life. We also are on Facebook and LinkedIn, so feel free to log in, follow us, and send us messages through any of the platforms, in addition to the general email message that you can send us. We, as I just mentioned briefly, all the webinars as well as other presentations that we host or conduct, we record and post to our YouTube channel. So be sure to log into our YouTube channel, search it up through our website or through the Google, and subscribe. So as soon as the new videos are released, you will get automatic notification and will be able to see the latest videos that are available for your perusal. So today's presentation is going to be dedicated to the oilfield equipment rental units in inventory, part of RigER. It's a big topic, and we want to make sure that both the current users and our new and future users are able to receive the latest information on how you can manage the rental units in inventory, because it seems to be the biggest question for all our customers in RigER. So today's agenda is we will talk about the items, the units, the combo units and assemblies, the services and materials and goods. And our presenters today are Michael and Gleb, whom some of you who are clients already have met and talked, and those of you who haven't been able to connect with us yet. So these are the people that you will be talking if you happen to book a demo with us or want to get a hold of us any other way. Just a brief overview to the new users of RigER. What is our product and where we come from? So RigER is the flagship product of Belkasoft, and we are a Calgary company established in 2012, which is now we're running into the 6th year of our life cycle. So we are a rapidly growing company that is proud of being in the market of oil and gas equipment rentals and services. We have a mission and vision to create a digital enterprise for all the rental equipments, and the pain that we've suffered initially was exactly from the industry that we're now serving, since we've worked in the industry before. A quick overview where we are in the media. We do profile often in the local Alberta and Canada media, as well as we do conduct presentations throughout the year, once or many more times in a year. And this year we've presented at the Petroleum Technology Alliance Canada just in April, and we are going to be showing at the conference in Houston in October. So feel free to reach us out and at these events, and we will be happy to see and connect with you there. A quick overview of the client distribution of RigER. We are a growing company, and lately Tex has been very active in the oilfield rentals, as you all know, due to the market conditions. So we have a growing number of companies that are reaching out to us with the question to help us set up the operations management software for their operations in south of the border from Canada. So here where we are, and some of the products that we offer include the in addition to the standard equipment rentals for the oilfield companies, we do the equipment distribution package for the companies that have the manufacturing and the fabrication facilities and are interested in delving into the rental part of the business. We do offer services for the downhole tools. So that's a separate component that we have built for RigER. And we also manage operations software for the waste management. So these are 3 specialties that we have developed on RigER right now. Some of the key clients, again, some of you may recognize yourselves, so I hope that you will be happy to see your names over there. Those of you who haven't yet, you're welcome to join the good company. And on the right-hand side, you can see the types of the equipment that our clients are managing here on RigER. RigER is a very unique and at the same time versatile system that allows you to track literally any equipment regardless of what you are operating or comfortable. And some of the equipment is different from the other because of the technical complexity and the specifications, which is no problem for RigER because Our system allows to track anything and everything in it. As long as we can customize it for you to meet your needs, it's not going to be a big deal. And on that note, I want to pass the baton to Michael, who will start with the first topic of today's presentation, items in RigER.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. And my first topic will be about all the items in RigER and how we track the items and what we name the items. Some use cases, examples of the RigER usage. Different companies with different number of rental units, different locations, and RigER right now, the biggest account numbers, I would say around 12,000. We have some companies with like 100 units, some companies with thousands units. So both ways works perfectly. However, majority of our clients, I would say around 1,000 rental units and items. So if we talk about rental business and the rental fleet, it's become very, very complicated thing to track because there are lots of moving parts and lots of properties you need to track and understand how it works. For example, it could be kits and bundles. It could be different serial numbers, the sub-rent equipment, different vendors' warranties, service and repairs, maintenance cycles, and other important data. In terms of services and goods, and in oil field, a lot of services come together with rentals. You need to track additional services as well, and all the consumables which could be utilized when you provide the service in oil field as well. So we have 4 major categories in RigER, which you can see in the final invoice. And this will be a rental units, which will be a combo units, service, and parts. Oh, sometimes they call consumables, sometimes called materials and goods, whatever. So, and in general, rental invoice could have 3 different sections. It will be a rental fee, including rental units and combo units. It could be service and parts, including materials, goods, consumables, parts, and services. An additional fee, materials, goods, and services. Additional fee usually could be rental, it could be repair tickets, maintenance, any other sales, support sales, or reimburse of damaged or lost equipment. Items in RigER can be reachable when you go to Oilfield Rentals and items. And we provide an ability to build a structure of the items. And usually we separate rental units, services, parts, tools, any other different categories, because those categories give us a better view of item list. It's easy to navigate and find the right item. And also we use this for reporting purposes. Say, for example, the revenue report by period, grouping items as we build groups here in an item structure. So let me show you some items in RigER right now, and I will switch to a live database. This is our demo database, and I'll show you how to find items. So Oilfield Rentals, items. And here in the items, we have different groups where you can see different rental items, different groups. So usually we have up to 3 different levels of groups. So it could be a subgroup, subgroup, subgroup. Again, it's not limiting. However, you need to be sure that it's necessary to have all those groups, because if you build lots of groups, it just make the life a little bit complex. So to create new group, you can see here, we can create the group, pressing the button create group. However, you need to be sure where you add, because if you stay at the rental units, so what I see here, and I will create a group, so the group will appear under the rental units, okay? So say, for example, I started a new group, and new one. And for example, this group will be a next group for rental units. You can see it here, okay? If I did it on the wrong way and I'd like to move it to the units, to the top level, I will move it to the items, and this group appear here, okay? Of course, all the groups are sorted alphabetically. And if we apply a different numbers here, say, for example, I will put number 6 here and I'll put goods, it will be showing at the top level as goods, you see here. Okay, it's very easy. The only thing you need to be careful where you build this group. You need to be sure that everything works perfectly. And for example, I will always asking how we can move items to the new group. So it's just very simple drag and drop, and you just move all, say, 5 gallons of water to the goods, and here we have those gallons. Okay, I believe it's very simple. So the next topic will be Gleb's, and he will describe all the rental unit settings and how we track the rental units.
Thank you, Michael. Hello, everyone. My name is Gleb Kobets. I'm Operations Manager in RigER. And today I'm going to talk about the rental units, practical things about the rental units, how to create new rental item, and how to manage all the information that we can have assigned to rental unit. So when we open the new item, we can see a lot of different information and tabs that contains a lot of details about this particular rental unit. As you can see, the first tab is properties. When we enter the general information about the unit, we can have unserialized and serialized units in system. So if you have, for example, unserialized items like hoses or something, access mats, for example, that don't have serial numbers or unit numbers, you can switch to the unserialized item. And these items will be tracked only by quantities in the system. On the other side, if you have unit numbers assigned to the particular rental unit, we can add unit numbers, and that will be the second layer of information in the item structure. We can also have sub-rental units in the system. Sub-rental units means that you can have units that you take from third-party vendors and provide to your customers. So if we specify that this unit is sub-rented, then the owner of this unit will be shown other than our company, for example. On the property, on the properties tab, we also have on the item card, we also have different tabs like prices, accounting integration information, services and parts that we can connect to this particular rental unit. And those services and parts will appear every time when we add a new item and this item in the rental service agreement. So it speeds up the entering the information in the documents. We can also have additional fee that will be applicable to this rental unit. We can have supplier info information. So we enter the preferred vendor in case of subrented units from which we take the equipment. We also have the analytics about this unit in terms of revenue generation. So we can see month by month information about the revenue generation. We can set up the maintenance templates. So every time that you need to maintain your units, you just use the prescribed templates. And also the repair list will show you what kind of parts and activities should be taken off with this unit during the repair. I'll show it a little bit later in the live database how it works. So unit numbers section contains all the information about our unit numbers. So as you can see, we have a general list of unit numbers. In this case, it's 61 pieces of equipment. And on this list, we have all the details about the particular unit number. What's the status of this unit right now at this particular moment of time? What is the unit number itself? What the model of this unit number? We can have also the information about the color of this unit and the location that we currently deployed this unit at, or just if it's available, it's stored at our shops. We can have also information about the manufacturer and manufacturing serial number if the manufacturer provides us with this information, and the year as well. You can see on the right-hand side of the slide unit number card, which contains all the details about this unit. Again, we can enter the maintenance template and repairs template. So if we will go to the real database, I'm going to show you how the items is structured in the system. So I go to the rental units folder and I'm going to open the light plant tower, item. So here's the item card. As you can see, we enter the name. We also select the type of this item. So it can be different types like goods, services, material, rental unit, or combo unit. We assign the unit of measurement for this particular unit. We can have different units measurements like inch, foot, gallon, hour, etc. So if we have the information about the model of this unit, we can enter this here. Let's say it will be model 1. We can store these details in this field. However, if I click on this small add model to description button, so the model information is added to the unit name. I would like to pay your attention about the unit number name. Be careful with these names because this particular field appears on the final invoice to the customer. So make sure that you choose the right name to show on the invoice. And again, you can adjust this field anytime. You can assign different categories to the rental units. You can add any comment. This comment will be assigned to the internal comments purposes. So if you have some information for your team, for your guys, you will add this comment here. Note for quote, you can add the information for the customer that will appear on every single quote that you generate. So it can be some damaging fees or replacement cost. We have the ability to enter the weight of the unit and replacement value. We can also track the meters and fuels consumed by this unit. So if we turn on these two features, in the delivery tickets, we'll be able to enter the information about some probably mileage or fuel level of this unit. If I switch to the subrental units, you see that preferred vendors tab appears. And here I can enter all my preferred vendors that I take the equipment from. And we will have the meter report if we track the different parameters for this unit. So let me show how to enter a new unit in the system. So if I go to the light plant tower folder and I click create button, I create a new unit. So this will be the name light tower 2, for example. It will be rental unit. And I'm going to show you what happens if I turn on the without unit numbers feature. So I click on that, and you see that unit numbers tab disappeared. That means that we will track this unit only by quantities. Be careful with this option, because this option allows you to set up this parameter for the unit just once when you create new unit. If I save and close this unit right now, I won't be able to deselect this option and switch to the serialized units. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to enter new unit number. So let's assume that we created a new rental unit. We go to the unit numbers tab, and I just click add, and I can add new unit number information here in the unit number card. Or the second way how I can create a new unit number, I just can copy the existing one by pressing F9 on the keyboard, or right click on mouse and copy. All I have to do here is just to change the unit number itself. So just let it be this one. I delete the comment, and all the information will stay the same. So I just save and close, and here's my new unit number. And you see that there is no status for this unit, as we didn't purchase it yet or used in any jobs. One very useful and practical thing here is this small icon in the first column. So if I double click on this icon, the rental units history appears, and we are able to see the whole history of operations with our units. So when it moved from to, what company was, and moreover, we can double click on the document number field, and our document will be opened. I think it's very useful and important to use in everyday operations. So we have a lot of information about this rental unit, like prices, all the prices applicable to different clients. We can set up the accounting integration details here, like revenue item number, sales item, account number, and we can specify that it will be fixed assets or not. As I already said, we can add services and parts to this unit. So every time that I enter a new unit in the rental service agreement, these services and parts will be automatically pulled up and added to the rental agreement. Additional fee as well, we can enter, like, let's say, environmental fee here, supplier info, analytics for this unit. So we see how much revenue this unit have generated. Maintenance templates, we can add a new one, and repair lists as well. So let me switch back to the presentation, and Michael will tell about the combo units and assemblies.
Thank you, Gleb. Of course, rental units is a very, very big topic, and we probably will do an additional webinar to describe how to track all the unit numbers and how to find and generate all the reports in the future. Today's we will give you just an overview what kind of types of units we have and how we can track them. And this is one of the interesting point in rental business where you combine items together. And there are lots of different ways how we can do that. And depending on the nature of this combination, we can use one or another approach. So today I will show you combo units and assemblies and packages. So let's start from the combo units. The combo units, it's a specific settings in RigER combo units we use when we have one price and several components. And usually the combo units used for the one particular job. See, for example, here we have the light plant LED, we have a type combo unit, and this light plant combined for light towers and one generator. It's pretty simple. However, I'd like to explain the combo unit life cycle. So when we start, we need to add new combo unit card, add all the components, and put the price to the price list. And the combo unit card will appear in the system. And the combo unit is a virtual unit. So the components will still be in a system. However, when we will generate rental service agreement and move all the items to the field, it will be a unit, the virtual unit in a field. However, we will see and track all the components. And when we'll return this combo unit back to our shop or yard, it will automatically disassemble it, and all those components will be available. So let me show you how the combo unit looks like and what we can do with the combo unit. Say, for example, I can create, and yes, let's use this. So light tower. Light tower. So here we have this particular example when we start a light tower LED 4 as a combo unit, and here we have a specific tab components which appear when we select the combo units. Okay, when we select the type combo unit, we will automatically will see components here, and we can enter new units, parts, and all the items here. And what we do next, let's generate a new rental service agreement and see how the combo units will work. So when I start new rental service agreement and add here the light plant, okay, you can see that it's automatically recognized that this is a combo unit, and we have two components here and quantity set up accordingly. However, we not charge for light tower separately and for the generator separately. We charge only for this unit together, and say, for example, it will be 150. Okay, and I will put a client and location and rig, for example. Let's do it like May 1st. So what do we do next? We approve rental service agreement as usual and generate delivery tickets. And here in a delivery ticket, as you see, it will be only one rental unit, light tower plant. However, in the components section, we can select particular unit numbers, which we will use for this. Yeah, for some reason we have only not four, but 3 available. Just to save time, I will not consider why we have one and this one as a generator. So, and when we post it, okay. So here in towers, we'll see that our 5-star service, and this is our 3 towers here as a separate separate rental units. However, when we will generate, say for example, I will generate new delivery ticket and will return this. Okay, some something happen all the time. When I will generate delivery ticket to return those items, and say, for example, I'd like to return those items yesterday, everything is good, and I see that all my components returning together, and I can generate total invoice. So in a total invoice, we will do not see any components. We will see only our rental plant, light plant, and rental fees. Okay, so invoice. And here we have 2 days charge for light plant units. As you see in this particular example, there is no hard correlation between what we have as a combo unit and what we actually send to the field. So in this particular case, we had set up 4 light towers, but we sent only 3 there. Sometimes that happens. Let's move forward and go to and consider another topic, which will be assemblies. And so the assemblies is a little bit different approach when we have same one price, several components. However, we'd like to use this for the several jobs or several months or several years. So usually, say, for example, here is another example where we build this assembly as an assembly list, and we have a rental unit, trailer with 3 regular toilets, and we put 3 toilets together and bolt them to the trailer and track them as a new unit number, this new unit number, okay? So, and the assembly cycle is a little bit different as compared as combo units. So we need to build it first. So create new assembly list, put all the items together, set up the price, and then we have a new rental unit. And it will be tracked as normal rental units. However, sometimes we'd like to know the history of the components. So history of the components will be available as well. And in this case, we generate rental service agreement, generate delivery ticket, generate end job, and we return the rental unit. To disassemble it or add or replace component, we need to run a new assembly list. Okay. So let me show you the very simple assembly list. And when we open assembly list, we can see here the unit number, which we build. We will enter, the rental unit which we build, unit number, and we can add as many items as we need to this list. So after posting this assembly list, of those items will be bolted. And if we like to disassembling, we select the different type of disassembling, or if we'd like to replace, we can have a situation when we disassemble and assembling in the same moment. Okay, this is how it works, and I'd like to move forward and show you the difference between combo units and assemblies. So the combo units and assemblies is one price, one piece of equipment with several components. However, combo units usually designed for the one job, assembly for the multiple jobs. So the components track separately and components track together in case of assembling. Different components each job for the combo unit, and the same components each job for the assembly. And combo units, of course, it's easy to build because it's just build all the components together on a flight when you generate delivery ticket. And assembly easy to move because we just move one rental unit and all the components moving faster. So there is no the right wrong approach to this, because sometimes it's better to use combo units, sometimes it's better to use assembly, and we have clients which use both of them simultaneously, and depending on what kind of particular situation they have. And another thing where you combine rental units, combo units, parts, and services together. This feature will be available very, very soon. We call it packages. So you can build packages, you can add packages, and add components and parts and services to the rental agreement very easily. And it's another way how you can combine together. However, every single item in the package will have their own price. So the combination of units, it could look in a very, very interesting way, where you can combine rental units, combo units with components, assemblies, parts, and services together, and this will be a one package. This speed up the entering items to the documents and gives some robust and good looking in the documents. So right now we come to the point when we can answer your questions. Do you have any?
Okay, so let me just repeat the question. So the question that have come from John is that what is the best practice to name items in RigER?
Oh, good point. Yeah, and if we talk about names, it's very, very important thing, because you, first of all, you need to understand that RigER sort all the items alphabetically. So first of all, you need to figure out what kind of system you will use to sort the items. Another thing, when you and entering items, there is a shortcut entering when you start typing. So be sure that you put some differentiators at the beginning of the name. So, and of course, the name of the item should be useful and good enough explain what is it about to client and to the company internally.
Okay, thank you. It makes sense. Another question that came in from Andy is when you've just explained the packages, I gather that's why the question is related to the packages, is when the packages function will be available.
Yeah, good point. So right now we working on it, and the packages will be available for the new version. And we expect the new version publishing in beginning of June. So, but however, if you need packages right now, let me know, and we will add this feature to your database in test mode.
Okay, thank you very much. And another question that comes from Anne. I think she's an experienced user. That's why the question maybe is a little more practical. So how unit code works and how can I change it?
Yeah, good question. The unit code, if we talk about codes at all, they are very technical and internal codes for RigER. So, and usually users not use them. It's just a record number, and if the user change it, all the next records will start from this number and will add. So be very careful and it should be a good reason to change the code, because usually if you enter pretty much the similar items with same name, the only code will give us an opportunity to separate them and understand which one we use in the particular document.
Okay, thank you. I don't think we have any more questions. Let's move on.
Okay, let me explain about little bit about the services in RigER. So services are pretty much the same looking for as the rental units. However, as you can see in the services, we obviously don't have unit numbers. But again, we have prices, accounting, equipment, maintenance, and materials tabs, where you are able, for example, on the equipment side, you are able to connect the service to the particular rental unit and to the particular equipment and tools that you use in your operations. And materials, on the other side, you can connect some kind of materials that you use in providing this particular service. For example, you use some instruments or spare parts. So once you provide the service, the materials will be added automatically to the delivery ticket or field ticket. So again, to access the services, we go to Oilfield Rentals, Items, and here we have our folder with services. So let me show you on a technical callout service. So in this particular item, we have, again, we have some options to track the meter and fuel for the service if it's connected with the using of fuels. This service also can be as a disposal type. So once you select this option and generate the delivery ticket disposal, this service will be automatically appeared on this delivery ticket. We can also track revenue by truck for this particular service. For example, if it will be delivery service and you select the truck in the delivery ticket or field ticket, the revenue generated with this service will be allocated between different trucks, and you can generate also the different reports that will show you the revenue by trucks. The service also can be a periodic service. So once you select this option, you can assign the schedule for this particular service when it can be provided and should be provided on a periodical basis. We have two recently developed options for the invoicing purposes. What I'm talking about. So negative amount option allows you to add, for example, we can add a service that will have the negative amount in the invoice, so we can reduce the total amount of the invoice with this particular service. Let's say this service will be named like special discount, and in the rental fee or service fee, the value will be with a negative sign, so it will reduce the total amount of the invoice. On the other side, we have document markup option with a percentage value. What does it? It just adds some kind of percentage. Let's say we need to add to the total amount of our rental invoice, let's say 10% of some environmental fee or some special taxes. So we assign this 10% on the total amount. It will be before taxes. So this service will be included in taxes as well. And as you can see, as I already said, we can assign different equipment to this service and materials. So, and right now, Michael will explain a little bit about parts and materials and goods.
Parts or consumables or materials and goods are usually used in oil field jobs, and it could be used during the job or after the job. So this is a category of items or inventory items which we can use in a field jobs, in a delivery ticket and field ticket, sales when we do a sales ticket and we add those items together with other job, and repairs if we use some spare parts to repair our rental units, and maintenance as well. So And here we have an example of some of the card where we have type goods on materials, and goods and materials is more accounting categories, and this came from there. And but it's just a general. There is no difference between goods and materials in RigER. However, sometimes when we do integration with accounting systems, they'd like to separate those two. So as you saw in rental units, pretty much the same structure. We have properties, prices, accounting, integration, supplier info, analytics, and maintenance. So, and all those additional things available. So let me show you how we can see the inventory in RigER. And again, the parts will be available here. Say, for example, if we have a diesel as a part, so here will be some items, prices, which will be different charges for different clients. And the supplier info, we can put the default supplier, some sort of analytics, which will show us the revenue. There is no revenue for the diesel. And here, when we have all the rental units and all the rental units availability, we can see the unit numbers, and it will be a list of all the unit numbers. The next one will be parts. So the parts availability dashboard will show us the number of items which we have in hand. In some cases, when you use a PO in RigER, it will show us the PO number and quantity ordered and expected delivery date. Same thing as the different prices for different clients or the sales price for those parts. And of course, you will see where they at this particular moment, what kind of like allocation between location. So yeah, this is pretty much everything which I'd like to show you about the parts. And I see that our timing is just perfect. And we just need to summarize a little bit what we discussed today. So the items in RigER, there are lots of different ways how you track all the rental units, services, consumables, combo units, assemblies, and parts. And we all the time facing the situation when we need to add something to our tracking system. And we're glad to hear from you your questions and suggestions, a comment how we can make RigER better. Thank you so much. And oh yeah, if you have any questions, just give us an opportunity to answer. Please ask.
Thank you, Michael. I think we have one more question so far that we haven't been able to answer. And the question is, how do I change a unit number?
Change the unit number. Okay. I guess any clarification about that?
I don't think there's any additional information. It's just that the unit number, but maybe
it really depends. Say, for example, if we have here the unit numbers, and if you'd like to change anything here, so what we can do, we just simply can change this unit number. However, I would not recommend you to do that very oftenly, because this unit number is not dynamic requisite. It's just the text where you can have here. So that if you change the unit number, it will appear everywhere simultaneously. So
okay, so you'd not recommend changing it. So which means that yeah, we shouldn't be changing it. Okay, so there's a few more questions I think that we would like to address, and in particular, how does the software work with Sage 50?
Oh, it's a little bit out of scope of this webinar. It was a previous webinar. However, the short answer perfectly works. We export, and let me show you here the data here. So when we do the integration, we set up Sage 50 Canadian and Sage 50 US. Unfortunately, it's a different software. We work with both of them. So we set up the connection with database, and when you do the export data from RigER, what you can export, it will be for example, it will be rental invoices, it will be sales invoices, it will be purchase invoices, purchase orders, etc. So you can select the documents and click export, and in 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes, they will appear in Sage 50. So it's pretty straightforward process. Setup probably will require from 1 day to 2 days, because we need to build a mapping table and understand how the items in RigER will connect with items in Sage, and that's it.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Darla, for your question. I think you may have additional ones related to the Sage setup and installation. We can and probably will get a hold of you over email or over the phone, and or feel free to send us a note, and we will discuss with you any additional sort of processes or the costs or whatever other questions you may have related to this software integration. Just to make sure that everybody's saving the time, lunch is running to the end of it. So we appreciate everybody for participation. Thank you very much. You're welcome to join next week as well. We are going to be talking about
Frequently asked questions.
Yeah, so FAQ will be next topic. So there will be a lot of interesting information for those of you who are using RigER or who are not using it yet. You'll be able to hear firsthand what people are asking and what we're going to be advising them.
Yeah, so for the next time, we will collect all the questions from, like all popular questions from our support portal, and we'll respond them like in the same format. We will give you lots of different examples in live database and answer most common questions from our users. And please join us next week, same time, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.